What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel where we are still on the road to 100 subscribers. So if you like the channel, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button and take this journey to 100 with us. Anyways, today we are going to be spoiling The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 13, and in this one, we're going to get to see Michonne. It's been a long time since we've seen her, so now we're going to get a whole episode dedicated to her, so let's get into it. I'm Mr. Hanson, and this is Spoiler Alert. We pick back up with Michonne. We see her and Virgil arrive at the island where Michonne was hoping to get weapons to fight against the Whisperers, but things are not as Virgil had described them. He won't tell her where the weapons are, and he keeps making excuses on why he can't show them to her yet. It also turns out that his family was actually dead, something he forgot to mention to Michonne on the trip over. But they are not in the graves that we see here. They are actually still in a building as walkers. Virgil explains that he brought Michonne here so that she could help him clear the building of walkers so that he could properly bury his wife. He says that he has not killed enough walkers in his day and lacks the skill to clear a building by himself. Despite all of his lies, she decides to help him clear the building, and Michonne was going apeshit ham sandwich on these walkers. She took out a mini horde by herself. Virgil was no help and just hid as Michonne did what she does best. The two make their way through the building and come to a room full of walkers hung by the ceiling. It is here that Virgil finds his wife. They have an emotional moment, and then he's able to bury her. Michonne again presses about the weapons, but Virgil says it's too late and that he will show her first thing in the morning. Michonne agrees, but then decides that she is just going to go out searching for herself in the middle of the night. She comes up to some old building where it looks like weapons may be, but while searching, Virgil appears and he pushes Michonne into his cell and locks her in, and then he leaves. While sitting in the cell, Michonne realizes she is not alone, and there are also people in the cell next to her. She speaks with them through the wall and learns that they used to be in a group with Virgil, but when his wife and children had died because of something he did, he snapped and locked the three of them up inside of this cell. Alright, so there she is. 4 episodes, no Michonne. 5th episode, there she is with us, and it is great to see her, but she finds herself into this crappy situation. Who would have guessed? Anyways, it turns out Virgil is maybe not a liar, but a less than truther. Does that work? Didn't give all the details. Turns out his family's actually dead. So what is she doing here? And then he traps her, throws her into his cell, and locks her in, and it turns out there's other people here. Like, where did they come from? And who was feeding them and giving them water while he was back on the mainland at Oceanside? How long was he there? How are these people still alive? I don't know. A lot of questions, not a lot of answers were given, but it was just, the whole thing was just kind of strange, but this is just where we are now. So Michonne is a prisoner, and if you think things are weird now, just wait. Things are going to get a lot more weird, so let's just get into it. While she's locked in the cell, Virgil serves Michonne breakfast, and she eats it, unknowing that Virgil had poisoned it, and this poison causes Michonne to trip out all crazy like. She starts seeing people like Sadiq, and he starts blaming her for his death. She has this wild hallucination where she is back in season 3, and she watches as Andrea gets killed by walkers and does nothing to help. We then see her walking down the street, and Daryl drives past her and just avoids her, showing us what it would be like if she never joined our side. She ends up being found by Negan, and after some back and forth, she joins him. We see flashes of scenarios that happened with the Saviors, but Michonne is on their side in all of it, killing people from our side. We see her standing with Negan the night Negan killed Abraham and Glenn, except it wasn't Negan killing them. Michonne was the executioner. It shows her picking her victim, and it looked like she was about to pick Rick before the scene jumps away, and now she's fighting against our guys. But Daryl is able to get her with an arrow. Then Rick stands over her and shoots her in the face. She snaps back and is in the room with Virgil again. She gains her strength and is able to stab Virgil with a fork, but Virgil is still able to get up and run away. She freed the other 3 prisoners, and they all headed after Virgil. After a bit, they catch him. Virgil explains that he was going to free the other prisoners, but he wanted Michonne there so they didn't kill him. But Michonne was about to find them before he could explain, so he felt like he had no choice. The other prisoners wanted to kill him, but Michonne talked them out of it. She gives the old "you won't like who you become" speech, and they decide to spare his life. Michonne locks him up in the cell and says she searched everywhere, and there was no weapons. He explains that he may know some spots she hasn't checked, and she agrees to let him search with her. Honestly, that whole section right there where Michonne was super high on a very bad trip, I thought was super awesome. I mean, it sucked for her. It was, I can only imagine that was terrible. But that was awesome seeing her on Negan's side with her badass glasses and like just the whole thing was really cool. Like just a little change of pace, you know. Of course, I'm glad she's on our side, you know. But it was just cool seeing another perspective of it, and I'm sure it wasn't fun for her, but I'm glad that she was able to escape from Virgil, and now she's out there. She decided not to kill Virgil because, you know, if you watch any of the Walking Dead shows at all, you know that when you kill somebody, you are never the same. Although everybody has killed lots of people. So that's kind of strange. So that whole sequence was kind of weird, you know, but we're going to have to see where we go from here. And I'll just tell you right now, it's going to get weirder. It's still going to get weirder, but I love it. So let's check it out. Virgil takes Michonne into some building, and the two start rifling through everything. Michonne notices something and goes to check it out. An old pair of cowboy boots. She feels them and smells them and realizes that these are Rick's boots. She becomes emotional, but then she pulls herself together and goes at Virgil, demanding to know where the boots came from. Virgil takes her to some ship, and she starts searching the boat to see what else is there. She comes across an old cell phone. This cell phone somehow had Michonne and Judith's picture scratched into the screen and had Rick's name across the top. She goes to Virgil again, demanding to know what he knows. Virgil tells her that he has no idea what's going on and that he had never seen the cell phone before. He explains that the boats wash up on shore all the time. Michonne leaves Virgil on the island and loads the prisoners from earlier onto the boat to take them back to Alexandria with her. On the way home, she radios Judith and explains to Judith what she had found. She tells Judith that she is coming home to be with her and help her fight Alpha. But Judith tells her that Alpha is dead, and as much as she wants to see her mom, Michonne needs to go find Rick. Michonne explains that she wants to, but RJ and Judith need her. But Judith does not give up and says maybe Rick needs her more. She says that they are alright and Michonne has to go. Michonne finally agrees and says she's going to head north because that would be the direction that the ship came from. While out searching, we see Michonne is using her old tactic of leading walkers around for cover. She comes up to a couple struggling. They ask her for help to get back to their group and point out where their group is. Michonne looks and sees thousands of real living people all moving together as a unit with trucks and vehicles and everything. It was unreal, and then the episode just ends. All right, there it is. It is time to let this conspiracy theories start flying. What the heck is going on here? Okay, so I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And I'm just going to let you know, like, I do watch Fear the Walking Dead. So I am going to have to reference that a little bit. I'll try not to give any spoilers in case you guys haven't seen Fear the Walking Dead yet. But I think we're at a point now. You're not doing anything else right now. You're stuck inside your house. Go watch all of Fear the Walking Dead because it's about to become relevant to what's going on right now. Okay, so Michonne has some kind of certainty now that Rick is in fact alive. I mean, the boots, kind of weird that, you know, anybody could have had them boots, but she knew they were Rick's. And then the cell phone, which also begs the question of how did Rick draw Judith so perfectly? Unless he's seen a picture of her or something, because you got to remember, we're 6 years removed. So Judith was just very small when Rick left. So, but we do know from Fear the Walking Dead that this group does watch people. So it is possible that Rick has seen Judith, has seen pictures, depending on what type of role he has decided to play in their little organization thing. I would think that he would be making an attempt to come back and get his family, but who really knows? I mean, if the people wanted A's and they have Rick, who is clearly an A, then Michonne's an A as well. Daryl's an A. Judith is an A. RJ might not be an A, but maybe he'll grow into one. Who knows? But okay. So anyways, and then Michonne sees that group of people. Now, from what we know from Fear the Walking Dead, that did not look like the same people who Rick is with. Although, it does kind of look like a group of people that maybe some of our other people are with on the last episode of Fear the Walking Dead, the group that they were forced to join of some sort. It could be them. But at this point, we don't know. But my guess is that these shows are all about to come ahead right now. You have this new one, World Beyond, coming out. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I don't like spoilers. I don't even watch previews for episodes. I don't watch previews for shows. I just go, yeah, that looks like a good show. I'm going to watch it. I don't like to watch previews. I like to see what they're showing me and base it off of that. And that's it. So that's why I don't really buy into the whole, like, Michonne's dying real soon. I don't know. Maybe she is. You guys definitely know more than I do about it. But right now, everything's looking good. So what I'm saying is I don't know what World Beyond is, but maybe it is possible that this is going to be the show that links everything together somehow. And we're going to find out, you know, maybe Elle is going to find the girl that she loves, and Michonne's going to find the man that she loves, and I don't know, but I'm super interested to see how this all plays out. Although I don't really want them all to come together, really, because I like having the two separate shows, because that means we just get more. So hopefully they continue with two separate shows. We do know as of right now, though, that filming has been pushed back on those. So the release dates on those are probably going to be pushed back, and we're probably going to have to go a pretty extended amount of time before we actually get, you know, season 11 of The Walking Dead and season 6 of Fear the Walking Dead. That's what it looks like right now. We're just going to have to see how all of this plays out. But anyways, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on what you think is going to happen with everything coming together. Or if you think it's going to come together or think it's not going to come together, and I'm just crazy for even thinking that, let me know down in the comment sections. But anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for coming out and checking out my newest video. If you like it, please consider subscribing, and that's going to do it. So, The Walking Dead, Season 10, Episode 13, you have officially been spoiled. So, till next time, peace.